Okay, can I just start things out by saying that this is my fifth time recording this? The thing is, I didn't want to do a recording with a script, so my first two takes were scriptless. Then my fourth and fifth were semi-scripted with bullet points. And all in all, every take had things I wanted to talk about missing or weren't fully elaborated on, or I simply just went off on some tangent. Seriously though, I know I said I would just record and post, but sometimes I can't help but feel the need to redo it. My brain is very scattered. One moment I'll be talking about one thing and the next something else, to the point I then forget what I was even talking about in the first place and I have to reel myself back in. But then the viewer is totally confused on where we left off, and it's something, I'll say. I really would prefer making videos without scripts though, because I found that I can really tell the difference when looking back at my last update, which only consisted of bullet points, and comparing it to my previously more scripted videos. That being said, I have to use a script for this one because there's absolutely so much I want to talk about and my brain can't handle trying to cover everything in one go, so here goes. Okay, I haven't updated y'all in a month, but to be fair, I also haven't really been all that productive with anything. I mean, seriously, all I did was go to Salvador and become more broke than I already was. But that'd be me exaggerating things. There were seriously so many hiccups, but it could have been worse, and at the end of the day, it was due to my own incompetence. Actually though, I can't help but want to elaborate on one of them, to which I'll start off by saying I really dislike Priceline. Like, screw them. I was looking to rent a car, and through some quick Google searches I came across Priceline. I'd previously used them for booking a hotel once or twice, so it didn't seem like a big deal to me. It looked like I could rent a car with them for $25 a day with insurance, and so I filled out the online forms for a 30-day rental. I didn't know how problematic renting a car through a third-party source like Priceline could be. I literally arrived at the airport to pick up the car from Europcar, and all I can say is that it was a total shit show. Honestly, at the start, it didn't seem all that bad. They were trying to sell me on upgrading my car rental, which I honestly considered, but told them that I really just wanted to stick with the current rental, which wasn't that bad. But from there on, everything went downhill. They told me that because I was under the age of 25, I would have to pay an additional fee of $14, totaling out to $39 a day, which honestly, okay, that's fine. It seriously sucked because, I mean, I'm barely under 25, but sure, whatever. I had already paid, so I was already roped in. Here's where things got annoying, though. They told me that I needed to pay for car insurance, and I was like, huh? What do you mean I need to pay for car insurance? I thought I already paid for it when renting online. And to that, they responded by telling me that Priceline provides a third-party source insurance, which can be used, but I would need to leave behind a deposit. And so I asked, what's the deposit? Because I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll just pay the deposit then, that's fine. To which they say to me that it's $14,000, and I'm like, huh? Are you kidding me? Do you think I have that kind of money lying around? Which I didn't actually say to them, but anyhow, so they say to me, that's fine. You don't have to give a deposit, you can simply just insure with us. See, in my head though, I couldn't help but think, okay, fine, I'll insure with you guys, but then what about the money that I had already used to insure with this third-party source? Am I not getting that back? I mentioned this to them. I went through the online process, tried to cancel my third-party insurance, and from what I could tell, I would maybe be getting a refund, maybe not. Not entirely sure yet. I mean, later I emailed them. They said 25 days before a refund, so I don't know. But okay, I'm like, let's continue then. They list out the plans to me, and I'm just baffled at these numbers. The plan they were trying to sell me was over $200 a day, and I'm like, what the heck do you think I am, a bank? I just couldn't believe that they were asking me to pay $200 a day for insurance on top of the rental, which isn't even close to that number. And so I asked them for a cheaper plan, and they showed me $100-something plan, to which I also said, this is way too much, I'm not paying this. What is your cheapest plan? To which they showed me a $30-something plan. All in all, I would need to pay nearly $70 a day for a car that I thought was going to cost me $25 a day. I mean, I wasn't stoked about this. I just couldn't imagine paying all this. The problem was I couldn't simply just turn back now because I had already given $300 for the supposed insurance, which honestly was going to be useless at this point, and I wasn't sure if I would even get a refund for. And then there was a $300 to price sign who made me sign a form that explicitly stated that this money was non-refundable even if I do not pick up the car, which I say, Hak Tua, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? It's one thing if I don't show up to pick up the car. It's another to not be able to ask for a refund when I can't even pick it up because I simply just can't afford this level of absurdness. Like, this is too much money. I am broke. But so, okay. I said to this woman, no thank you. I mean, seriously, I wasn't going to pay nearly $2,000 to rent a car that I thought was going to cost me around $700. My uncle had previously given me a number to a car rental place he rented with before, and so I called them up, and they did not charge me for being under 25, and gave me an upfront charge that did not change, $30 a day for a sedan. Personally, I don't really recommend using a sedan in El Salvador. The roads are too poorly maintained, but I mean, it works, and that was the type of car I was going to get with the car rental place anyway. I later switched over to a larger car, which was more expensive, but better for the roads. All in all, though, I should have just called him up from the very beginning and done my research. But I guess you live and you learn. Later, I returned the car. There were no problems, no need to talk about insurances or anything. I mean, it's good to have it insured, because you never know. But, yeah, that was my car rental experience. But things don't end there. Aside from losing a ton of money while in El Salvador, I also got beat up by my own father, who never even raised me, much less even provided for me. So, yeah. The thing is, I usually don't like speaking ill of people, but he truly is an exception to this. I never really thought of him as a father. I mean, I seriously even struggled to put Papa by his name on my phone, but my mom would constantly tell me how at the end of the day, even if I don't want to accept it, that's what he is, my father. But whatever, I did it. And while I wasn't in favor of building a relationship with him, I wasn't necessarily against it, but have always felt like a relationship would have to be built. I mean, who cares if biologically he's my father? Not once has he acted like one. Growing up, he never really called me, he never sent me any gifts, he never even really wished me a happy birthday. He literally was non-existent in my life. I visited him once last year with hopes of something, but came back more disappointed than ever. I mean, my hopes weren't high, but wow, did he disappoint. I did get to meet some other family, and I actually grew pretty close to them. But yeah, it was fine. I didn't grow to care for him while I was there last year, but I didn't necessarily hate him. This year, I visited once more, and seriously, not only did he tell me to my face that he did not respect me as a son, but he even hit me and dropped me to the ground, causing me to hit my head on the road and bleed. So what if you were drunk? There's so much that I could elaborate on. The fact that my mom was only 15 when she had me with him, even though he was a grown man at the time. The fact that he had completely taken the home my mom and him had built when I was a child. The fact that he was abusive, or even the fact that he once again stole from my mom and sold 2 lots of land that my mom had worked tirelessly to save up for without her permission, and said, "I'll pay you back for the cash you paid for them," 5 years after the fact. FYI, that cash never showed up, which is why we were having that meeting in the first place. There's so many more negative things I can say and have said, and I have no regrets in doing so, but, well, whatever. On a brighter note, El Salvador was really pretty. I got to explore so much. More so because I had a car this time around, unlike last year. I went to a beach called La Libertad twice, as a matter of fact. I went to El Lago de Guatepeque, El Lago Ilopango, El Cerro Verde, and so many more places. I probably can't talk about them all in this video since, well, it's already such a long video, but I'll update you guys more on it on the next video. Also, on a bit of a side note, I don't even know what I'm doing with this series. It was supposed to be about my successes in life, but I haven't really been all that productive in a month or so, and there's no successes to speak of. Maybe I'll just call this series my journey in life, but yeah, bye.